know that it's couch pilots. All of you are my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me, as always, is my journal entry man. His name is Captain Philip Bressisher. Good evening.
Dear Diary, yet another day has gone by where I've somehow made it through this horrible life. I wish I could go back to the days where I just wanted to run free in the fields with just my diaper on and fuck some hot whores. But no, I've got a mortgage. I've got lawns to be mowed. I've got a pool that I vacuum in the rain. Please, God, kill me quickly. I beg of you. Oh, sorry.
I heard that. That was out loud.
Diary entry over. Sorry. How do you say, like...
Captain's log.
Bye, diary. Like,
bye-bye. Bye-bye, diary.
Bye-bye, diary.
Signing out.
Signing out.
I love you, diary. Bye-bye.
I love you. Goodbye.
Have you ever kept a diary before?
I tried to a couple times in my life as a youngster.
Did you call him a diary, or did you call it a journal?
Journal. Oh, I'm not gay. It's a journal.
You thought I was gay, though. Remember that? We talked about that last week?
Yeah, okay.
When you first met me, you thought I was a gay guy?
Yeah.
That's fine.
You're good looking.
Well, that's awfully nice of you to say. That's why I didn't think you were gay.
You know what?
I knew you're the straightest man I ever met in my life.
I was good looking one time.
You look.
At one time I had that V.
Oh, yeah.
Amanda, you know the V, right?
I know the V.
I had the V one time when actually I still had it when me and Molly were dating, and I don't have that V.
V is gone.
Well, I have the V, but it has like a roof over it. There's no water. There's no water getting in that basement, if you know what I mean.
All right, let's make haste here while the sun is shining. We had her on during our season full of guests. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And we're like toying with the idea of having a season full of women. I don't think it's going to work, so I kind of like half canceled it.
Because you don't have enough women that want to talk to us?
No, that's not the reason. But welcome back to the show. Is it Amanda or Amander?
Amanda, yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, I've never heard anyone say Amander before.
No.
I want
don't
to
think
take
so.
you by the hand and make you understand, Amanda.
Amanda, no.
Hey,
Amanda.
You said that to her last time.
Watch this, Jason.
Okay.
Diarrhea.
She loves the word diarrhea.
In my notes for the show,
That's close to diary.
in my notes for the show, it says Amanda is the guest. Diarrhea is the magic word.
Amanda, do you think I chose to watch the program Dear Diary because diary sounds like diarrhea?
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I did.
Or maybe this is a very fitting show for a girl my age. The demographic. It might be.
Are a lot of women your age keeping diarrheas? I mean, diaries?
No, I'm talking about like the age of the lady of the show.
But you're not that. You're third. Can I say your age?
Sure.
I'm going to guess
Yeah.
you're 35, 36.
You got it. 35.
35. Okay.
35.
You should be in the circus.
But
Like
don't you
it- yeah.
think?
Call back.
You don't think that her character is about 35?
I think she's 40.
Yeah,
40.
she says,
Oh, that's right. She's 40. But still, I mean, listen. My husband is about to be 40. So.
Yeah.
You know,
You
I
can
hang
tell.
with the 40-year-olds, so maybe that's why it feels normal to me.
Yeah, that could be the case. What do you think about him turning 40?
He's 40.
Hey,
What do you-
Aaliyah said it best, right? Age ain't nothing but a number.
Right.
And then she died in a car wreck.
Yeah.
Or a
What do you
plane
think of the
accident.
band UB40?
Oh, yeah, good.
You be 40? Yeah.
Red
wine. Stay close to me.
Yeah.
Nice. Amanda, it's a pleasure to have you here. When I
Yes.
heard you were going
I'm
to be
excited to be back.
Okay, can I finish?
No.
Can I finish?
You
Can I finish?
Yeah,
You invited me over here.
No, I did not. I
Oh,
don't
no,
invite.
that's right. That one did.
I invite nobody here.
That one. Good
I
Christ
don't invite
almighty.
anyone here. No, when I heard that you were invited here and you said yes to the dress,
Yes.
I was very, very excited, and I'm glad you're here.
Aw, thanks.
Diarrhea.
I can end every sentence with diarrhea.
It's not as effective when you overuse it that way.
Oh no!
You got to sprinkle diarrhea in.
You do. You have to like.
Has anybody
has
ever
to be like
sprinkled diarrhea?
It has to be like strategically placed.
Oh, Amanda, I am a pro. It will be strategically placed. Don't worry.
Diarrhea is not something.
I've got a page and a half of notes. It's sprinkled in.
Sprinkled in.
It doesn't come up on the show a lot, but like you like your life is a series of like moments between diarrhea.
Sure, no, yeah.
Because we talked to this, and you're like every shit is an emergency for you, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and I have been trying since the cancer scare.
Yeah.
I've been trying to maybe play it cool when I go in there, just like I got all the time in the world.
So instead of changing your habits, you're just changing your attitude.
Attitude, yes. They always say positive mental attitude and all that stuff. He's going into that bathroom with the biggest PMA he could muster.
I am going to will my asshole to be healthy.
The Secret. Remember that book? You could write one called The Secret Asshole, right? And just about willing your butthole to repair itself. Well, you should probably be eating more roughage.
Yeah. Well, that might make it worse.
More roughage?
More roughage.
You need fiber, protein.
I could eat rocks and it wouldn't help.
No.
You're like a chicken.
Yeah. So yeah. No, yeah, I'm constantly in a state of diarrhea.
Right. We're going to get you some Miralax.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help.
It doesn't help you?
No, he's tried it all.
Gerbil.
He hit a
gerbil? Did you say a gerbil?
I said durable.
Oh, I thought you said a gerbil. I was like, yeah,
Gerbil.
for exploratory procedures.
Yeah. How do you want to stop your diarrhea? I'll just shove a gerbil in my asshole.
Well, duh.
They're ultra absorbent.
What am I, Harrison Ford?
Amanda, you have a bachelorette party coming up. We talked briefly.
I sure do.
And what is that? What have you organized?
Aren't you guys
one
already
before?
married?
No, for a friend.
For my friend.
Oh.
Yeah, not my bachelor
You remember
party.
that? Remember the Peoria Podcast Alliance?
Yeah, I
You don't go to those meetings,
Right? You don't know who those people are anymore.
I don't know why you don't go to the meetings.
They don't like me there.
I
So
heard
what?
something about Taco Tuesday at the Moose, okay?
You should come to the
That's babysitting my child.
You should come to the meetings.
And they're $1.25.
They're not that. They cannot be good. They
No,
cannot.
not
be
at
good.
$1 a quarter.
But I mean, the Moose
Bring the
Lodge.
kids to the meetings. Come on.
The Moose
bring
Lodge
them.
is the whitest place on earth. There's no way they're making quality tacos for any price.
No, they're very good tacos. I will take you
No,
sometime.
I will go.
But you can't go again. Right? No, you can go one more time.
You can go two
First,
visits.
Yeah, first as a guest, then as friend, then as family. So you have one more. I'll take you to a Taco Tuesday.
That's
You
fine.
like tacos?
I eat tacos all the time. I love them. I'm gonna have tacos tomorrow.
Right. He just doubts the quality of the Moose's tacos.
How do you know you're gonna have tacos on?
I don't know if I
June 4th?
would invite a taco connoisseur to the Moose for tacos. Just saying.
I go.
He seems like a connoisseur of tacos.
I don't know why
love
you
'em.
can't spend the $50 to just become a member.
I'm not all the way. I'm not going to Pekin to drink fucking $1.50 Miller Lights.
You can go anywhere in the country. You can go anywhere in the country.
It's like having the black card at Fitness America. Will they give me massages at the Moose?
Hey, you asked the right old lady.
You know what? I'm in, and I'm gonna go against you for the board. You and I are gonna go head to head.
Whatever
for the,
he's running for,
the
whatever
bo-
position, Jason's running for the same one.
You saw the picture, right? I am the inner.
Yeah.
I'm the inner guard.
whatever that means.
Right? What does that mean? What do you do?
Did you see the fucking medallion?
Does that mean if there's an apocalypse, they're
I
gonna give you
didn't
like a
I did
spear or
not
something?
see some
you
medallion.
saw the medallion, right? The Beastie Boys medallion.
It was a beautiful medallion.
I'm the inner guard.
What is the responsibility of the inner
Yeah,
guard?
yeah, what is that?
Come on,
Yeah,
list
yeah.
it out. List it out for
Oh,
me.
there's just one.
Wear medallion.
Wear this medallion
The only thing
at
is
all
wear-
times.
At all meetings, you have to show me your card before I let you in the meeting, and if you're
Stop.
not stopping, I'm not
So your
stopping.
responsibility is to look at
Guard.
cards.
You're guarding the
I'm the
meetings.
security guard.
Okay. All right. You know what? It's not
You
nothing.
look real threatening to me. I would be intimidated if
Oh,
I tried to
mercy.
get in there without the proper card.
You're not the first woman to say that.
I'll come to your Taco Tuesday. I will come with no expectations. I'll come in.
There you go.
Level playing field.
I'm living up to her low expectations. I don't know why you bashed the Moose. You had a fun time.
No, I'm just saying. Like, don't you dare for 1 New York minute tell me they're going to have quality tacos at the Moose. That's all I'm saying. I had a great time. I get the appeal. I understand it. It's close to home. It's fun. It's
The tacos are good. You can get hard shell, soft shell. You can get a super taco.
Did you say super taco? What's a super taco? Huh? What's a super taco?
I don't know. I don't know what a super taco
Does it have extra fixins?
You get a taco salad.
Oh, you can even get a taco salad.
Blake wants to
Amanda?
toss my taco salad.
And I don't know why he won't let me. I mean, we've known each other for years.
Right?
I mean, at some point, Amanda, you've had friends that you've been friends with for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And at some point, you look at each other and go, hey. Toss the salad.
I'm Blake's oldest friend.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so.
Am I your oldest friend or is Scott?
No.
I believe
in a thing called love.
No.
Just listen to the rhythm
I was
of
going to say, I believe in a thing called tossing the salad with my best friend. Oh boy, this is going to be a long night.
I don't like that. I don't like that song.
No.
I love Amanda being here. This is so much fun. There's no pressure. Like last week, there was pressure to behave.
Because my mom
Right?
doesn't like bad words.
Yeah.
And now Amanda's here and she's like,
Yeah.
hey.
Right?
I'm
I like how
this
you
is
backed
great.
us up because you were
Right.
like, I'm going to need a
Because if you
come
were-
down from,
if
from
you would-
being with the parent.
If you would have been on first,
Right?
by the
You'd
time-
be
I would've been a
wired.
shit show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have been wired. Wound for sound.
Chalk that up to good scheduling.
Right? Somebody thought that out, I guess.
So you're going to be you're the matron of honor at this upcoming wedding?
Yes.
It's your responsibility to plan the bachelorette party.
Yes, indeed it is.
And does that just mean there's going to be a variety of cocks? Cock hats, Caucasians,
straws.
yeah.
cock strongs?
Listen, for my bachelorette party, I said I want no penis paraphernalia.
Guys
I feel
don't really
a
do
little
that, do they?
guilty.
Yeah.
Boob paraphernalia. What do you have? Like boob and vag paraphernalia?
I've never been married. The captain here has been married
Yeah,
twice.
you probably had several bachelor parties.
Is there a lot of vagina and breasticle stuff or not?
On the bachelor party for the latest marriage,
You went to a strip
I
club
went
in
to a strip
Vegas.
in Vegas,
Ooh.
baby. And obviously, I didn't have enough money because it got really lame as soon as people started showing up. As soon as real customers started showing up with
Right.
money, it got really lame.
Well, you did it smart because if you go in at rush hour, then you were just you're shit.
I'm a nobody. I have $5.
Right.
But he went in early in Vegas and they paid attention to
Yeah.
up front. But then people started trickling in
Showing
and
up.
yeah. So
They were like, oh, forget about that guy.
the strippers gravitated
Yeah.
towards people who actually had money.
Right.
And I was mad because there were so many people in the limo when we came home. I wanted to just jerk I and go to bed, but I had to wait till I got to my room.
Oh mercy!
Mom says,
That's
"What's wrong
awesome.
with the mirror?" I was like, "Fuck you."
But did
Yeah.
you have any did you have any boobs or vagina
Paraphernalia. There was no paraphernalia.
Yeah.
And then the second marriage, I wasn't drinking, so I don't think there was a bachelor party. And the first marriage, there was no bachelor party yet.
How old were you? Were you like 21 when you got married?
I was 21 when I got
Wow, unreal.
Yeah.
21. Got
Amanda,
divorced when I was 22.
what are you planning for this bachelorette party?
So, my
Do
girlfriend.
you need someone to dance?
Yeah. I would take a dancer. You coming over to dance?
I will strip. I will strip at your bachelorette party.
You're gonna get a weird
Right?
V.
The V with the hood.
Hey,
That's all I can remember.
it's a roof. Thank you.
On the roof.
Your nickname,
Hey, the roof's on fire, Amanda.
your nickname is gonna be V Hood.
Welcome to the stage.
Listen, I'm laughing so
V-hood.
hard my glasses are fogging out. That's bad.
Hey, you know what? A lot of women say that when they see my penis. I'm laughing so hard, my glasses
You
are
don't want
fogged.
people to see.
I don't. I didn't say I wanted it to. I'm just saying that's what
He
happened.
gets a lot of negative comments about his dick.
Yeah.
It's 1.5 colors. I don't see what the big deal is.
So she didn't want to go out because this is her second wedding. And so she wanted something a little more low key. So her favorite thing is her comfy pants or her pajama pants.
Sure.
And so I was like, let's have a pajama party.
A pajama jammy jam.
Hey.
You guys,
So,
riddle me this.
Yeah.
The women when they have a sleepover,
sure.
panties,
No.
makeovers,
No.
pillow fights.
No.
They whiten their
None
teeth.
of this,
Yeah,
none
they
of
whiten
this-
their teeth.
None of this stuff is real.
They practice kissing on each other.
Oh
No.
They hump a pillow.
And they hump pillows.
None of
Those
this
are the
stuff is
6
real.
things. None of those 6?
None of this stuff
I'm
is
0
real.
for 6?
You are
And they
over
watch
six.
Child's Play.
You are over
Child's
six.
play.
Two.
No, we watch crappy romantic comedies and
Twilight.
eat a lot of food, drink a lot of booze, and tell crazy stories, and laugh a lot. That's
Amanda?
typically
That sounds fun,
girls.
actually.
This
Yeah.
is probably the greatest party I've ever heard.
I would love to be invited to a ladies' pajama party,
Jason,
right?
let's do it. Let's sign a contract right now.
Yeah.
And we knew we'll do a strip tease at this.
That would
My
be
hood
so
situation is
brilliant.
not great. All right?
Your hood game is
My V is more like a fucked up W. It's
That's because you got a boner. It's up in the middle.
what's up in the middle. Oh God.
Amanda,
Yes.
I'll do it for $50. So
$50. Who said I was paying you to?
and I am not going to undercut him. You got him. He's done. He's in. That's him.
Amanda,
Blake.
you've known me for a while. It has
Yes.
been. It's been a while.
It's been a while, but it's
Tell
also
me-
been a while since I've seen you.
Tell me it wouldn't be a good time if I.
Oh,
came
it
to
would
this
totally be a
striptease.
good time.
I'm not going to show you my dick. I'm just.
No, I don't. No, no,
God.
please. I don't know if I would ever be able to look you in the face again.
Oh, sure you would.
Oddly enough, his face looks surprisingly a
Right?
lot like his dick. So
No, wait. This,
your dickhead's missing a tooth. That's
Oh
right.
God.
I'm just saying I'll do it. I'm just saying.
So,
I'll do it.
June 1st, come on over.
So your friend is like totally like, yes, you. This sleepover sounds awesome.
Right, yeah, she's the game for it. So
Okay.
She's gay
girls
for
game.
Oh, I was like, I'm really good at dance then.
Well, before we started recording,
Yes.
you said there was maybe
Yes.
a different route that you wanted to go.
Well, same pajama party idea and theme, but let's be real. I don't want to keep these. I don't want to try to keep these bitches preoccupied and find things. I hate bachelorette party games. You know, the typical pin the penis on
Yes,
the man.
yeah. So
you
it's pretty
know,
lame.
Available.
And all of these, like these are.
You want an
It's not a
extra
real
penis
man.
added to you?
I'll turn it around.
We'll pin it too. Like I don't know if you want a pin going into you,
Ugh.
Hey,
but
some things.
or like how well do you know the bride? Like all these kind of shitty freaking games.
Fuck
And
that. Give me the food,
Not my
give me the
deal.
booze.
Right? Exactly. I'll put on a spread of food and booze. No, nobody have a problem with. But I needed something to entertain these bitches. So I've been trying for weeks to line up a sex toy party consultant. So, and I happened to mention this.
This is blowing my mind right now.
That's what happens when you go take a cigarette
My
break.
mind is
Right?
blown.
Yeah.
So, I have contacted 2 consultants and submitted my date and had no response.
But they are booked up way in advance, so
So,
let's call her up.
right?
We're gonna call her.
So, but I was telling my friend Jason this story
I'm
as we
Jason.
were waiting for you.
Just stop flirting with his mom. Okay.
Yeah, to stop flirting with Jason's mom. And he's like, you know, Blake's wife had one of these parties and there's this pen. I was like, oh my gosh, I knew if I just told enough people I was looking for this,
If I could tell enough people I want to
somebody
have a sex party.
would have somebody. So,
Everybody
here's to hoping.
knows somebody hosting a sex party.
Well, the reason this is so great is because a couple months ago we had called a woman who had helped the flight stewardess Molly put on a sex party in this very captain's lounge. I remember
Yes.
receiving a picture of that later, and some Couch Pilots All Stars were in that photo.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your porn on. Get dildos.
We talked to as a lady goes by the name of Brittany about possibly getting a party set up for ourselves, and we never really followed up with her, and that was never really the intent. But now I feel like we have a reason to call Brittany back,
Yes.
and maybe inquire. So, if you don't mind,
yes.
I would love to maybe do a little role playing where I pretend maybe I'm your husband.
Can we also then at the end tell her legit June 1st?
No, we can't do it as you're the husband and you're calling. I mean, if she's in the room, she should be calling.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of times people aren't comfortable
Right.
with taking the
Yes.
helm. I mean, if you want to do it, by all means.
I'll let you drive
so
this ship.
you're the same guy calling.
Yes.
Back, and now you want to book a party, and you're now. Do you have your contact information to actually give her? To
Well,
make
I
this
mean, we don't
happen?
necessarily have to
Yeah.
give personal information out. I think the
I just don't want. I do worry about that. It'll be a great bit, but then it'll ruin the chances of Are you just going to look for availability?
I think it's going to be a situation where we have a specific event in mind.
Okay.
And we're going to get some information about that, and there is a date as well,
Yes,
right? So we'll
June
throw that out there,
1st.
and then we'll call back with with all the contact info. We don't have to do that. Right now,
You're a pro. I'm gonna mute myself.
Right? Don't ruin my chances of getting this broad.
All
right.
How many times have
Brian,
Brian? You're a lucky man.
What am I? Who am I?
You're Amanda.
She says,
and I'm Jason.
She says,
all right.
Brian, don't ruin my chances of getting this gal. God, you live a great life, you guys. God. Geez.
All right, here we go. This will be good.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself just so you know.
Hello,
Hi, this is Brittany.
this is.
Hey, Brittany. This is Jason. I've got one of your pens here about Pure Romance. That's you,
Sure.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
Actually, I don't know if you remember. I had talked to you a couple months ago about my wife had been to one of the parties that you had hosted and really enjoyed it. I'm sure you get calls like this all the time, though.
Sometimes.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I don't expect you to remember. That's fine. But actually, I have my wife with me here, and she, at the time, we were interested in setting up some sort of party because she really had a great time. But now, like, one of her friends is getting married, and she wants to set up something. I didn't know if we could talk to you about availability and maybe what some of that would. Do you have a minute to talk?
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Okay, because it sounds like there's some busy stuff in the background. I don't want to take up any of your time.
Oh, no, I just had the TV on and my daughter's getting her hair done, so it's totally fine.
What are you watching?
Guys' grocery games.
You ever hear that show Utopia on Fox?
I have not. Is that a cooking type of show?
No, it's like a reality television show. Anyway, it's a great program, but I was just watching that. I didn't know if you're watching the same thing.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm gonna get my wife on the phone. Again, my name is Jason. This is Amanda. Amanda, can you?
Hi, it's Amanda.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear her? Okay.
Yes, I can hear. Yep.
Okay, great. Amanda, you're gonna be the maid of honor, right?
Yeah. My best friend's getting married, and I'm looking for somebody for a party on June 1st, if that is anything that you're available for.
June 1st.
Is that a Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm sorry that I'm on the phone. I don't know if that makes it awkward. I know she was kind of nervous about making the phone call. Do you ever have that where ladies are kind of nervous about making that call?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry. If you want me to get off the phone, I totally can. I know.
You're totally fine.
Okay.
Let me see here. June 1st.
Okay.
Is it going to be during the afternoon or like an evening type of thing?
Like the evening, probably around 7.
Okay.
And this is a cause we had talked before. This is a female only. All the men have to get the heck out of Dodge,
yeah.
right?
Yep, you got it.
Good.
Right?
I got to go do some stuff anyway. That's good.
I am actually not available on the 1st, but I do have a significant amount of team members. I could probably see if one of them are available. I'm certain one of them are available.
That would be great.
I can definitely do that. Let me.
Amanda, you had actually tried to reach out to a few people with Pure Romance, and it didn't.
Yeah, I got on the website and tried to message a couple consultants because I'm in Peoria, and I just picked a couple from Peoria, and I just never heard back from anybody. So.
Well, son of a biscuit. I actually have a decent amount of team members in Peoria as well. So
awesome.
I don't know who you're reaching out to, but they are slacking.
Well, Amanda had been to one of your parties in the past. I think it was in Pekin somewhere, and just had a great time. And she's like, I want to get something going with this. It'd be a lot of fun. And here's just an incredible opportunity. So I'm excited that I'm sorry you personally don't have the time, but if you've got someone that could, fill that spot, I think it'd be a lot of fun for them.
Oh, absolutely. Bachelorette parties are tons and tons of fun, and we spoil the bride with lots of freebies, and it's a great time. I love bachelorette parties.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Okay, so I'm going to write myself a note here. I've got June 1st at 7 o'clock. Will the party be in Peoria?
Yeah, at my house.
Okay, perfect. And Amanda, do you want me to have the consultant give you a call back?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, what is your number?
309.
Can't do it.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to put my feelers out actually right now.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
And hopefully they can get in contact with you within the next 2 days, I'm gonna stress it to them that they need to get in touch with you ASAP.
Yeah, it's just short. It's kind of short notice, and I know that. And so I was just I didn't want to wait too long before I reached out to the next person. So I've been kind of waiting 2 days and then reach out to somebody, and then now at 2 more days and 2 more days, it's getting real close.
Yeah.
Story of my life. I get it. I will not wait 2 more days to get this message out. I'm going to type it up right now to my team and see who is available.
But that's great. Thank you for doing that. I do have a question. I know a lot of this stuff is geared towards women, but is there anyone that does a guy version of this party, or is there anything that guys get together and do? Because I'm not super familiar with this kind of stuff.
That's a good question. Not that I am aware of. I'm certain there's somebody somewhere doing it. Just not that I have researched or heard of from anybody else. So I'm sure it's out there. It's probably just not as popular or as talked about at the moment, I guess.
I never ever hear about that, and that's understandable. I know you guys sell stuff kind of for guys at the female
absolutely.
party, but I didn't know if there was something themed for just fellas to have that kind of experience.
Yeah, because I definitely feel that guys need the education. I have a lot of women say that at the parties. I wish my husband could be here so he could learn this.
Oh,
but...
totally. Well, let me ask, what is the and I totally accept that there's no guys there, but what is there a reason that guys aren't there? Is just a comfortability level with the ladies?
Yeah, kind of the main reason. There's a really scary statistic, 1 in 3 women has been sexually assaulted in their lifetime. So we kind of aim to make it a just female friendly, really comfortable environment. So this woman could be best friends with somebody for 20 years and not know something happened when she was little, and it just is traumatizing to talk about sex with men around, and it's just a comfortability thing.
I totally get that, and I appreciate it. I was kind of curious about some of the reasons, so I appreciate you letting me know.
Absolutely.
Okay, Amanda, did you have any? She got your information.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I appreciate your help, Brittany.
Yes, absolutely, no problem. I'm finishing typing up this message right now to my team, and hopefully somebody will get in touch with you. I'm going to make them get in touch with you by Wednesday.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Is there any other information we should be aware of? Anything we should do to prepare?
Not necessarily. As long as you have a venue, you've got your time, 7:00, and they'll whoever gets in touch with you will get the address and stuff like that.
Okay.
Ask if you want invites and a few other things. But other than that, as long as you've got the people and the place and the time, she will be there ready to rock and roll and party.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Every time I call you, answer the phone right away. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for.
We will talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks. You guys have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Fucking amazing.
Right? There you go.
Listen, this Brittany is probably one of the nicest, best consultants that Pure Romance has. Come the frick on. She's great.
And let me tell
she?
you this. She's a very attractive woman.
Is she too?
She's got one of those tattoos between her breasts.
Yeah.
And that there's
does it for you?
There's about 2 or 3 women that I've seen it be able to work it.
Okay.
The bass player for Devil Makes 3.
Okay.
She's the bass player, and she has a bull skull. And
sure.
It looks hotter than hell. And I've seen this girl's Facebook page, which I want to bring it up and show you. Yeah. And her name is Brittany.
I don't think I've ever seen her, but you know what? Seriously, every time we call her, she's more than happy to answer all of our questions.
Yes.
Johnson.
I know, right?
It's Ney.
No, I got it.
But so she's always been very pleasant on the phone, and always willing to answer all of our questions. So
yes.
In all honesty, I think hopefully we help you.
This was brilliant. Yes.
Okay.
This is brilliant and it's fabulous. Yeah. No, she's super cute. I wish she'd come do my party because she's cute and she's super nice and friendly.
Can I ask you to do me a favor?
Yes, 100%.
When the person contacts you off air, will you say that Molly Clayton was your referral? Because
of course,
that will
100%.
help us. Yeah,
it'll help you get some more toys.
Get you a gallon of lube
no
for free?
Problem.
Does that get you an extra gallon of lube?
I'm just it would.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%, 100%. I am super grateful
Blake,
that this all stars aligned and it all worked out.
This podcast has been going on for years.
We have helped almost no one in that time frame,
and I think maybe
your first help right here live,
which means we're going to have her on after the party.
Oh, yeah.
To get an update.
I think we'll need an update for sure.
Oh, for sure. We'll have to call Brittany and thank her.
We'll call her back.
Thank her.
You've talked to this girl twice. It's amazing. I can't do it.
She's very pleasant.
This is one of the things about Jason. Yeah, Jason started this bit where he calls people.
Yeah.
And we did it. I think one of the first times we did it when we were taking shots of 99 proof, and we called the liquor store. And like I did a really bad job of it. He is excellent at it.
That's awesome.
I love you.
Right?
And also with you.
Hey guys, we're doing a podcast.
Are we at a Catholic mass? I was like, for a moment.
All right. Oh, what is he doing? Sit down.
He's with you.
We're boarding the plane.
Oh, we're going to get on the
Catholic
plane.
masses, you go up and down. Brian, you know that, right? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that thing that comes down, you kneel on it. That's how you get a ringworm.
A kneeler. That's what it's called.
What a funny name.
Should we call Fox real quick? Fox Network, and you guys can leave a message about Utopia or not?
Oh, I will do this.
Right?
I will do this because, and I will talk as loud as possible because they can't hear me. Because
I'm gonna hand you my phone. Here, this is Go ahead, leave a message. This is a message for Fox. Other way. There you go.
Yes, my name is Blake, and I'm calling because you once had a show called Utopia on, which was the greatest show. The American version was the greatest show in the world, and to be honest with you, you cut it off right as it was getting good. It was getting good, and I want to know what we need to do to get Utopia back on the air. For me, I don't expect you to start with right where you left off. I mean, start with a new cast, but same premise. I loved Utopia. Please bring it back.
Honey, are you calling about Utopia?
I love Utopia!
I love Utopia.
Me and my wife love Utopia. My wife. And please bring it back.
Please, please, please. We need Utopia.
My wife said she's going to leave me
I will.
if I'm doing a grassroots campaign. I'm trying to bring it back. Please. So my wife will stay with me. Please bring Utopia back. Wife,
You better get that Utopia back on the air, or I'm leaving my husband.
all of a sudden she is very ghetto. I'm not good at this.
No, you're not, but that's fine. Give me the phone.
Right. It's all right.
I think you had a message.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah, it was your girlfriend said, hurry up and come back home.
Oh, yeah, it was her.
What does it say?
Spooky animals stayed. A wounded mirror came home. She bought a mirror. That looks awesome.
A meerkat? She bought a meerkat?
She's cool as shit.
No, I don't want you to think I wasn't saying she wasn't cool.
I was saying.
Can we call her?
No, absolutely not. 1,000% no. Today we discussed the pilot episode of Dear Diary from the year of our Lord 1900. Add only 96. Great year.
Great year. Amanda, I don't mean to steal from you. I'm sorry.
No.
I was 21. It was a good year for the roses.
Do you know what that means when he says that, Amanda?
No.
Have you ever heard that phrase before? Good year for the roses?
I have not. No.
A good year for the roses means exactly. Woo is right. I remember this year as a time where obviously it was a good year because I impregnated my girlfriend of 3 months. Oh, yeah! And at the Red Roof Inn in Peoria, Illinois.
Red Roof
Yeah, that's where it
Peoria,
happened.
Illinois.
Yeah.
I never
fun.
understood that. When people can be like, this is the exact sexual encounter I had that impregnated this
There's
person.
some kind of calendar that women have that you can.
There's a calendar.
You can get very close.
You can get close. I
Yeah.
mean, but if there's too many in a row, you can't know.
So
you can know.
so the woman you were with was like, I know when it was, and she told you, or you figured it out? What happened?
No, we figured it out after she surprised me.
You guys got out a calendar and an abacus and figured it out together, or what?
Abacus my ass. Here's the thing. So we knew when we were able to have sexual relations, which wasn't. I was living at home.
Yeah, so it wasn't
And she was living
all the time.
at home.
Yeah.
And her dad had epileptic seizures. And so it was kind of weird to have sex because we would start, and she'd be like, and I'd hear like a voice downstairs going, I was
Stop!
like, yeah, killing it. I'm killing it.
So that's super fucked up. What you just said,
Oh,
right?
it's very fucked up.
Okay.
What was really fucked up, I'll tell you, I think I told the story before, but the first time that we had sex at her mom and dad's house, because she had her room was upstairs, right? We're in her, and like we were kind of going at it, and I was like, are your mom and dad fucking getting it on? And she's like, no, my dad has epileptic seizures, and he's having a seizure right now. I was like, oh, well, I guess this.
Oh my god! Did that kill the mood real fast? Real fast.
And it was funny because
Boner no longer exists.
Yeah, another story to go along with this. I used to date a girl named Jamie Toomey.
Oh yeah.
Probably the best sexual partner I ever had. Some freaky shit had happened. It was a toxic relationship. But she lived in an apartment in Sunnyland. You know where the ice cream place is in Sunnyland?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, those apartments back there,
Okay.
like a big circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was dating her, and we would have sex, and then as we were having sex, the people upstairs would start to have sex. So
They heard you having sex.
You got
and
them in the
decided,
mood.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
gotta have sex.
Yeah, that was the one that she had a poster of Perry Farrell over her bed. So a lot of times,
that's right.
a lot of times I stared into Perry Farrell's eyes as I was fucking her from behind.
That was your baseball to last longer.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
right?
Yeah. Portos for pyros, right?
And Pornos for Pyros and Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, Perry Farrell.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So hey,
Hey, he
boy.
started Lala.
what?
Lollapalooza.
She's right.
Oh.
He totally did.
Hello.
Early mid 90s. Yeah.
Yep.
She had a tattoo on her back. This is another part.
Here we go.
So she
Target.
She did have a target. She had a tattoo. It was a full back tattoo. Okay, that she had done over the time that we were dating, and she was still working on it. But she had a son and lost him,
Oh.
and
She gave birth to him and lost him?
I don't quite remember it, but I remember going to the cemetery. So obviously there was something.
Okay.
But so she had this big angel on the middle of her back that was holding a baby, and then she had a bunch of like rays, like
Sure.
purple and rays coming down
No.
from her shoulders.
No,
Yeah.
no. Stop. Please stop.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta let it go.
Isn't that a Sarah McLachlan song?
No,
Come on, an angel?
hey, like I said, there was a lot of stuff that happened with this.
Oh
girl.
my God,
Right.
that is fucked up.
How you staring
The
at
first
an
time I
angel
ever-
baby?
the
How you
fir-
staring at an angel baby and just jizzing all over her?
The first time
Right
I
on
ever,
that
You know what?
angel baby.
Amanda said it, all right? I mean,
first time I ever pissed on a girl was her.
Stop.
good God.
Oh, you want to hear another?
Who
You want
is
to hear?
letting
Want to hear
you-
something?
Oh,
more?
I don't, probably
Pee
not,
on
right?
them.
Do you want to hear one more fucked up thing?
Probably don't want to.
Of course I want to
Amanda,
know.
that's why I like you.
Of course I do.
She like had a knife one night, and she like wanted me to act like I was cutting her throat.
All right.
Best
Yeah.
sex I ever had. Seriously, it was like I said, the relationship was toxic, but
Sure.
it was a good time.
It was a good time.
Oh boy. Well, that takes me back
Does that
to.
take you back to 1996?
It surely
I
does.
don't even want to tell you where I was at in 1996.
Oh
at
no!
this point,
Were you getting peed on?
I was 12.
I hope not. Holy crow! I hope you weren't getting peed on.
No,
Hey,
it's
you-
just a weird transition from this to a 12-year-old who loves the Macarena. Okay,
And playing-
that's where I was. Like, get that transition there, okay? A 12-year-old in the sixth, yeah. Hey, Macarena.
Wow.
This is the greatest episode ever, in my opinion.
Good gravy.
We're gonna send this link to Brittany.
1996. Holy God Almighty! I was 15 years old. What a time to be alive! But it is not 1996 right now. It is a different year, in fact. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's 2019.
True.
All right, let's
Yeah.
be serious. Let's quit. You know, we're
Yeah.
we're
Let's
fucking-
be serious. Let's stop talking about peeing on 12-year-olds. Let's be serious.
She wasn't 12. I've tried to look her up. I can't find her. I wonder if she killed. I think
No need to do that.
No,
I
you
think-
just let that live where it
No,
lives.
but I think she killed
Okay.
herself. I think she killed
Play it where it
herself.
lies.
terrible.
She had shit going on. I think she killed herself.
Good God. You can turn it. You make it dark so quick.
Right.
2019. We in 1996. First of all, we didn't have urinals. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bunch of like troughs back then.
Like
that people would
at
slip
Wrigley-
and slide in.
At Wrigley
There was
Field.
no-
At Wrigley Field. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No. Yeah.
There are a lot of things we didn't have back then. Captain Philip Rester is like an encyclopedic knowledge
Of what we didn't have.
Right?
Go ahead, please.
We didn't have Band-Aids.
No.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Wow.
The first vibrator was not invented until 1998.
That's true.
Well, I'm
no
glad I'm having
vibrators.
a sex toy party in 2019.
Thank
then.
you.
For real.
If you said butt plug to somebody in 1996, they wouldn't know what you were talking about.
If that
right?
an electrical outlet.
But the one thing that 1996 had that we have in 2019, this is the first.
2019's enough.
Yeah, I
Are
know.
you drinking one of these?
No, not yet.
What is that?
It's just a
Just
Miller Lite.
sitting there. Just sitting there.
This is the first time ever on this show. One of the things that they had in 1996 and 2019, tampons.
Very good. They made about an Indian hair back then, I believe.
Indian hair. That sounds awful.
Bunch of things
Indian
we did.
hair
Sounds
mixed
real
with
itchy.
diarrhea.
Sounds real itchy. That
fuck
didn't
are
get
you
me.
talking
That
about?
didn't get me. You can't get me.
Itchy tampons.
If I was a lady, the last thing I'd want to do is take an engine's hair, braid it up, and shove it up my chocha, right?
Right?
Like, why would you want to stick a bunch of hair? Is it ultra absorbent? Absolutely. But there are many things that are ultra absorbent.
Sure.
Take a kitchen sponge.
Cotton.
Yeah.
A microfiber towel.
Sure.
All this sounds awful. I'm just telling you.
What did you expect, Amanda? What were you expecting?
Listen, really, in the girls' grand scheme of things, tampons are kind of terrible.
Right. Oh, no, very terrible. Oh, no.
They're better. They're better than your other option.
Right.
You know, which is just the pad, and then you just bleed
Hold
on
on,
your
what's
clothes.
that thing called?
No bueno.
What's the thing called?
Menstrual cup.
No.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Diva
But-
cup.
Diva
But
cup.
what's
Diva
the thing?
cup.
What's it called if you leave it up there too long? You can
Toxic
get,
shock.
Toxic shock syndrome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is a real life thing that like young girls are like terrified of.
They should be.
Toxic shock syndrome
It-
terrifies most
It'll electrify you, right?
Most,
like an electric eel?
young teens.
Is that what it is?
No.
No? Okay.
Is
well,
that why they change them 4 times a day?
I'm misinformed
They're worried
then.
about it.
4? You better change it more than that.
Really? Seriously?
100%.
Do you need to change your tampon more?
100%.
I don't believe you. I'm gonna call my wife.
Call your wife. She'll tell you more than 4
Are we gonna
times
call
a
her
day,
right now
You're
and
gonna
talk
end
to
up with the toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah.
Don't mess with that shit.
1996. We have to go back to 1996 in our minds. And to do so, we talk about things that did happen rather than the things that did not happen, like you had mentioned, Captain. June 1st, Woody Harrelson is arrested in Lee County, Kentucky, after he symbolically planted 4 hemp seeds to challenge the state law, which did not distinguish between industrial hemp and marijuana.
A funny thing about hemp,
Wow.
and people don't think about this because it comes from the words from a stoner. They're like, it's not true. But at one time in our country, hemp was one of our biggest exports on ships, like Christopher Columbus ship. It was made of hemp. Everything was made of hemp.
Is this
And
a conspiracy
The
theory,
whole
do you think?
ship was made of.
Oh, yeah.
No,
yes,
the
yeah.
ropes. The ropes. God,
And the ship.
God damn it.
No, and the ship.
Everybody wants to make me look like an asshole on this show.
Is this a conspiracy theory, though?
Brian was driving over here and he goes, whatever you do, Amanda,
Make him
if
look
you
like
wanna-
an
if you
asshole."
want to stay married, make this fucker look like an asshole. If he brings up hemp and ships,
Act like there's a ship made out of rope.
fuck you guys.
Is the criminalization of hemp, is it a conspiracy theory? Because all the uses of it.
Yes, because at one time in our country there was a lot of uses for hemp, and it was something that you could use, and there was a lot of like companies that didn't want that. They wanted to use the plastics and
Was it a cash crop?
Probably.
Hey, high five that shit. Cash crop.
I think
Kind of
like
cash cab.
to Ben Bailey. Love that guy.
Baba Booey.
But like, yeah, tobacco was a cash crop, right?
Yeah.
And they, I would think the same thing could be said about marijuana
Yeah.
and or hemp.
Hemp.
Sure.
But yeah, Woody Harrelson was like saying, you know what, guys, hemp is wonderful. There's a million uses. Why is it illegal?
Because of Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he's a B-list Western actor. Remember when I talked about Grandma?
Dude, seriously? That was the second best phone call you ever made.
Oh, what's the first?
But this phone call with Brittany that I actually have to go edit. I have to
Take
beep.
my phone number
Yes.
out.
Yeah, you have to take my phone number out.
I wrote it down, but I'm gonna go. I am instead of using like a real like beep. I'm gonna go beep.
That's fabulous.
Shit. Now I have to do that.
June 25th, Independence Day, directed by Roland Emmerich, starring Will Smith, Bill Pullman, and Jeff Goldblum, premieres in Westwood, California.
Yeah.
You remember that
Nice.
fucking shit?
Oh yeah,
Never
that was
saw
the
it.
greatest movie.
Was it?
I was in 6th grade.
Was Dennis Quaid in that movie?
It was brilliant.
Yeah, he
Dennis
was.
Quaid,
Yeah.
Will
Before he went
Smith,
crazy?
No, it was probably during.
aliens. I mean, it was iconic. It was just, I don't know. It was big when I was in.
That was
grade
like
school.
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
Oh, you're right, not
Randy
Dennis.
I
Quaid.
He's
apologize.
right, Randy Quaid.
Thank you for guys sitting on the plane.
Random passenger over there.
Why is there a guy sitting on the wing yelling at us?
Independence
softly?
Day, the first one, because there's been a sequel since, right? Independence
Yeah.
Day 2. The first one is kind of like, it's the pinnacle of summer blockbuster
It was.
films.
Oh,
right?
definitely at the time. Yeah.
And if you go back and watch it now, it's like, oh, this is the biggest piece of shit I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my life. But at the time, I remember being a kid and
Yes.
I saw like 2 times in the theater. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Right?
I never
Come
saw it,
on.
so I didn't do that.
You're not
Like
missing
those
the thing.
aliens, yeah, those aliens inside the wall and the glass.
Will Smith saying
On the other side of the
sarcastic
glass. And
things.
that Will Smith dragging an alien in a parachute back to Area 51.
I think not only that, but I think he uppercutted an alien at one point.
Yes, he did. You
Yeah. It's the dumbest fucking shit
is.
I've ever seen.
Speaking of uppercut,
Oh,
there's this one time with Jamie Toomey.
Good lord. You pissed on her? You punched her like you're in fucking Street Fighter?
And I almost cut her with a knife on the neck.
Good lord.
I'm telling you guys, if you were in that shit, you'd be like, whatever you
No,
say, I'll
I
do.
know what you're talking about. I understand it completely. June 29th, Superman's Action Comic number 1 from 1938, auctioned at Sotheby at $61,900. Online auction cements it as the number 1 world's most expensive comic book. The Man of Steel is more valuable than ever. A pristine copy of Action 1 number 1. The first appearance of Superman sold for a record $3.2 million at an auction in 2014.
Fucking nerds.
Can you imagine that? 1996 rolls around, you buy something for $62,000.
Right.
And it's worth $3 million.
And a mere 12 years later.
But who has that kind of fuck you money, right, to do that?
It's a gamble. You don't know. It's a gamble.
Just recently, there was a Beatles album. I don't know if you guys heard about this. I don't remember the name of the album, but the original cover was all 4 of the Beatles. They had white like lab coats on, and they had like raw meat laying on them, and then they had like a baby, like a doll. It's true.
I believe it. It's just like this is something the drugged out fucking later year.
Sure.
Beatles
So they had
video.
like they had like a plastic baby that they like took apart, and they and it was John Lennon's copy of it, and so all the Beatles like signed it. It just auctioned off. They were like estimating it was going to go for $130,000. It went for $280,000.
Did you
incredible.
just find out about that?
Yeah, no, it just happened
I
recently.
felt like we talked about that.
We might have talked about that
one
album
of the
cover.
first, one of the first times we ever podcasted together for IBWIP. Remember that Beatles episode we did?
Oh yeah, that was one. It was awesome.
And I feel like we talked. Yeah, there it is
Thank
right
you.
there.
Yeah.
Brian's got it
Look,
up.
It's all fucking.
Yes,
What's the name
I
of the
bet.
album? What's the name of the album?
Yesterday and Today.
Yesterday and Today. So it came out like 1969, and like they issued a bunch of like a few of them, and then somebody went, "That's fucked up,"
I think.
and then they took it off. That's why it was so rare.
I think like true.
I bet my mom. I bet $100 that like upstairs in my attic, my mom has like she was a huge Beatles fan, and I bet she has that album
You're
cover.
a fucking millionaire.
Wouldn't doubt it.
You-
I mean, but it's been in an attic, not temperature
But
control.
it wasn't signed by
No, it
all
wasn't
the Beatles.
signed. No,
Right.
so-
And that's a complete different. It's some amplifiers. There's in
Yeah.
front of amplifiers.
Like you like the early Beatles. Hold my hand.
Yes,
shit,
I
right?
love early Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
When they started getting all like into India fucking bullshit, I don't like.
Not into Octopus Garden.
No, yeah, there.
I
mean,
love Octopus Garden. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs.
That is a Ringo.
I love Ringo.
I saw Ringo live. Have you ever seen him live?
no.
He does this thing called Ringo Starr and his All Star Band. Have you heard of
Nice.
that?
No.
And what he does is it's him on drums, and he'll sing.
Sure.
And then he'll go around with like one-hit wonders of like the 70s and 80s.
Okay,
and
all
they'll
right.
tour. And I saw him at the, I think it was the Horseshoe Casino in Gary, Indiana, probably about 10 years ago.
That's awesome.
And I saw Ringo, and
Yes.
I saw like Mr. and like, who's the guy who's Frankenstein? What's that guy? Edgar Winter, maybe? A handful of dudes were there, like singing one or two of their hits a piece.
Yeah.
Ringo could not say the Beatles. He couldn't say the word Beatles. He says, "Oh, that band I used to be in."
Sure.
He's a band, and he would sing "Fucking Octopus's Garden."
Oh my god.
And I get high with a little help from my friends. You know, like you'd sing all that
Yes.
fucking shit. But it was cool to say I've seen a Beatle alive.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
But he's out there doing it. You should catch him.
Dude, I love Ringo.
You should catch him.
I do. Ringo's probably my favorite Beatle.
Really,
My
you
mom's
are in the
was
minority.
John. Yes, my mom's was John, of course.
Well, John, like as much notoriety as he get, like
No.
he was kind of a piece of shit.
He was an
right?
asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
no,
like
hers was John, I
he
think.
loved to
Yeah.
beat up women, and he loved to like fuck
right.
women who weren't his wife, right? Like he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my mom had like a group of girlfriends in the same number as the Beatles, so they all had a Beatle.
Different one.
Yes.
That's what I noticed.
Yes.
And my mom, I said this to my mom. There was always a group of girls.
Yes.
And they always picked a Beatle, and that's who
Yes.
they were obsessed with.
Yes.
You know what?
They would like sleep with pictures in their pillowcases. My mom she rode the train when she was in junior high. I think
Come
she was
on, everybody.
I think she was in the 6th grade, which I was
Right.
in 1996. She was in the 6th grade when she rode the train to Chicago to see the Beatles live.
She saw them live?
Yes, my mother
By herself at 6th grade?
her and her girlfriends, by themselves.
What?
They
That's
rode the
crazy.
train. Yeah, right. You wouldn't do that now. You wouldn't put your kid on a train to go see a rock concert. Like
That's
no
awesome.
way. But yeah, my mom saw them live
Very cool.
when they were on their American tour. Yeah,
Probably one of their very few tours, as they
Yes.
they never toured very
Yeah,
much.
and you know the reason why they stopped touring, right?
Lack of technology.
Yeah, lack of that
Yeah.
is fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Like that is fucked up. It's like
People are screaming so
people
much
are
that
screaming
technology
so
can- yeah.
loud that
Yeah.
that we don't have speakers that will work.
that'll play over it.
Amanda, why do we choose to
You know, a lot of
watch?
people say that about our show.
Why do we watch Dear Diary? Do you know? There's 3 reasons that we watched it.
Why did we watch Dear
Right.
Diary?
Yep.
Just go ahead and bring it up on your phone.
Right? I don't know. Maybe because it is probably one of your only pilots that ever won an Oscar.
All right, that's one.
Win.
That's part of my interesting fact. She's motherfucking, but that's okay.
Next thing, Sex in the City blatantly ripped off this pilot, I feel like.
Okay.
And you really like Cheers, maybe.
Blake, Blake, why don't people listen to this show?
Because it's awful. People don't listen to it because it's awful.
I
In the
love
in the month of April,
Yeah.
a lot of people listened. Month of May, not so many.
Okay. Well, it's still early in May, not by the time the show
Right.
comes out. But anyway, you can find the entire episode of Dear Diary by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
And
or
you
your
can go to
favorite
YouTube and
podcast
know
app of
what to do
choice.
to.
That was your voice.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
By the way, Amanda got all those wrong.
Yeah, none of those were right.
None of those were right.
They, you know what? They weren't even valiant guesses.
You know what?
Well,
What's ironic is the last 2 weeks, people, guests have just taken upon themselves to make their own pillars.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you know what? And I love them.
Yeah.
God
It was great.
bless you. Summary of the pilot revolves around a New York Magazine art director, married and mother of 2, who, just having turned 40, decides to record the events of her day in a journal.
I'm going to give it a B+.
It's kind of confusing for people because we have 3 different bouts of rating during this show.
Sure.
You do the very end where we rate the pilot itself.
That's the
1 to
main.
7.
That's why people listen. That's the
Absolutely.
only reason people listen.
And you have the one where we say, what did people from around the world rate it on IMDb? 1 out of 10.
Which I never look at IMDb.
Yeah, well, 1 out of 10, the 10th decimal point in play. And then we have the summary that I just read, and that's on an ABC, like going to school scale.
ABC, come on, man. Easiest 1, 2, 3. All babies, do, re, mi. ABC, 1, 2, 3. Baby, you and me. To think that kid could sing so good,
Right.
when his dad is beating him and fucking him, is amazing.
His dad had sex with him?
I think so.
Holy God almighty.
You know what, Amanda? You don't know everything.
I don't know. No.
Michael Jackson? You canceled. Okay? All right.
You're fired.
So what do you give that? Because there's 3 different parts of the show that we rate it, and there's 3 different rating scales. It's very confusing.
Right.
That's why people listen.
And you said what? A? B?
I said B plus.
70 plus.
Amanda?
Do you want to rate this summary? You don't have to if you don't want to.
The summary itself?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the summary itself is kind of lackluster. I say B for summary.
Do you think we should take away the grading of the summary? Like, because you said it was lackluster.
Yeah, the summary of it is lackluster.
You've listened to 4 episodes at least.
Yeah.
At least 4 episodes. Do you think that we should take this out of our formula?
I mean, the whole thing is, though, is that people are finding this to watch it based off of this little synopsis. So if they don't do a good job synopsizing...
Who's they?
The people. The websites.
To the people over there.
To the people on the people on the websites.
What what kind of luster would you put back on this summary?
Well, I mean, you gotta be like... I mean, it's a little racy in parts. So I think you should share the raciness, maybe, like...
Share the races.
You know, like...
Amanda wants to share the races.
I'm okay with that.
Raciness.
Oh, okay.
Race. Do I have to like enunciate
My
for
bad.
you?
My bad.
What does luster mean?
Luster means shine, sparkle, giving it some pizzazz. I feel like that doesn't do much for it.
Have you ever owned a pizzazz, one of those pizza
Yes,
machines?
for real.
Is it good? Does it work well?
Yeah, it works pretty well for a frozen pizza.
Do you have an air fryer?
I don't have a pizzazz currently. I upgraded and adulted to the pizza stone for the oven.
Okay, I was saying that goes.
I wish you could see my hand.
Listeners-
Everybody should legitimately watch me when I talk because I talk with my hand. I do motions.
That's like a pampered chef stone.
Yes.
That you
yes,
put
that's
us-
exactly
okay.
what I have. The Pampered Chef pizza stone.
And ironically,
brilliant.
I asked her about an air fryer.
Right? And I do not have an air fryer.
Have you heard anything? I've heard a lot of good things about an air fryer. We're
Yes.
thinking about investing in one.
Right.
I've
Heard people that love it, and then I've heard people who like use it twice and never use it again. So it's literally one way or the other, which is why I do not have one. It's not like everybody says.
We're gonna find you. We're gonna cook you one way or another.
Interesting facts.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please step up, stand up for interesting facts.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
You have no idea. There was a royal baby born, and interesting facts are revolving around good old Archie. I still think Charlotte is an adorable little baby. But interesting. What are you looking at me like that for?
There's a royal baby
Right?
born.
Do we just leave George out of the picture? You just only mentioned Charlotte. Nothing about George.
Have you seen the pictures of Charlotte? She's a
Yes.
beautiful little
oh,
girl.
Yeah. But
Fuck
George is so cute. I don't even know what you're talking about.
George is-
with his knee socks and his little leather freaking shoes.
Fuck
like,
that guy.
So
That's
cute.
a dumb baby.
So cute.
Interesting facts. Jason has scoured the internet. He has found facts, and he even said he has a number of interesting facts about this, which Amanda spoiled. But listen to the facts. Don't express your opinions of the facts to other people. Amanda,
I'll hold my opinions.
when you go home tonight on the ride home,
Yeah.
there's a hunky guy right next to you. Don't talk about these facts. Because he's going to punch you.
Right? What's that?
basically-
What's that? My husband
basically-
totally was like threatening me from across the table.
Guys, gals,
That's none of our business.
gals, just don't do it. Just don't do it.
None of our business.
Keep your shit together.
Starring BB Newworth, who you may remember as Fraser Crane's wife on
That's
Cheers.
what I remember. Now, thank you.
Oh, and you're welcome. Written and directed by David Frankel and produced by Frankel and Barry Jossen for the new film studio DreamWorks. Fact. After being rejected by ABC, it was slightly edited and put into a single Los Angeles theater for a weekend in November 1996 and went on to win an Oscar for Best Live Action Short Film at the 69th Academy Awards.
Dun, dun, dun.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
This is the only pilot we've ever had that won an Oscar.
Oh!
Okay.
And I called that, too.
So
She did.
here's a little behind the curtains. Sunday night, we record on Mondays. Sunday night, I watched this, right? And as I started it, I said, Molly, look on IMDb and see if you can find this. And I said, and tell me the summary, okay? Mm-hmm. And she said, this was won an Academy Award. And I said, hey, dumb bitch, you're looking at the wrong fucking
thing. It's a pilot.
This is a pilot.
That's not respectful.
It's
of women
amazing.
At all.
Can't do it.
This blows my mind that this shithole fucking show won an Academy Award.
It's a fact. Okay. It was the only made-for-TV pilot ever to win an Oscar. Interesting facts over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
This pisses me off. I'm so fucking angry right now.
Why are you angry?
Yeah, why are you angry?
Why are you angry?
Because I spent 24 minutes watching this fucking piece of shit
Are you kidding me?
to find out that it won a fucking award.
I thought it was halfway
I didn't
decent.
even know that TV shows could win Academy Awards. I thought they
It's
had to
not.
be movies.
It was a short film.
No,
They released it as a short film.
I'm going to save it for the show. Mm-hmm. Amanda, we can't look at each other right now because I'm saving it for the show. It's fucking horrible. When you hear what I have to say about this show, you'll probably punch me in the face.
Right?
What
I
are you
would
doing?
Never.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to find something here.
Okay,
He's
well,
looking. He's
Amanda,
looking for something. You and I can have a
are you?
Good.
conversation.
I'll ask your husband. Can she have a conversation with me? I don't care. He said, okay. The sex toy party thing might happen, right? Like,
Yeah, 100% it's going to happen. Like, I mean, I planned the bachelor party for June 1st, and that's what I would love to happen. But if it fell through, I was trying to make backup plans. Like I told Jason.
And
like,
I'll be a dancer.
I was going to try to do like a 90s themed slumber party. Like, so.
And watch Grease?
Like, chick flick / teen bopper movies from the 90s.
Stripper named Blake.
And then music from the 90s.
And stripper named Blake.
Sure, stripper named Blake. Mall Madness and Girl Talk.
All
Like,
madness.
finding these old school freaking games to
Yeah.
play. Like, let's have these out to play. So that's my backup plan. So
Let me ask you
am
this:
ecstatic.
You get these old '90s board games out. Do
Yeah.
you turn them into drinking games?
Of course.
Okay,
It's a
excellent.
bachelorette party. Of course.
Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. It's doubtful Jason got some Twitter responses.
He's right. I didn't get any, but we do have a commercial for tonight's sponsor.
From reality mastermind John DeMol. And based on the international smash hit comes an idea bigger, bolder, more groundbreaking than ever.
This is the purest form of reality that I have ever produced in my career.
15 people, each with their own view of what it takes to make a perfect world, will sacrifice one whole year of their life to build one together.
We put 15 people in very difficult circumstances, and they have to figure out what the choices are they have to make in the beginning.
All our best stuff from us.
This is not a game. This is Utopia.
Utopia is actually a huge social experiment.
Yeah,
If
it
you
is.
had the chance to start again,
not
what would you
human.
choose?
They will be dropped in the middle of nowhere, and they start from scratch. There are no laws, there are no regulations. That's something they all have to figure out for themselves. They have to make money. How are they going to do that? If these people don't work, there is no food. They will be starving. We need all kinds of different skills so that the group has a fair chance of surviving. Every month, the group has the chance to substitute one person in the group by a new one. So how will they deal with these challenges?
Just believe your
Will they descend into chaos or realize their dream?
The ultimate goal is to make great television. It is the opportunity for 15 people to create a better society than the one we live in right now.
Utopia, the world awaits from Fox.
Okay. All right. Cut that shit.
Oh my god.
First of all, that's really asshole of you to do the British version. We don't fucking care about that. The U.S. version was the best version.
It's got the same theme song though. I did
Same,
hear it.
same theme
and
song,
I was like,
same concept,
Utopia?
but 50 people. And we're not 50 people on there.
No.
Thank you, Utopia, for being tonight's sponsor.
Like, I am so excited that I found one other human that loved Utopia as much as I did.
Jason
it was like kismet. Like, we needed to meet and bond over Utopia.
Jason never saw one episode of the show, and this was the greatest.
It was so good.
Show.
It was
great.
Tune in this fall, 2014.
And that's
it was so good.
It is. It was 2014. Let me take you back to 2014.
Please, in our minds.
In our minds, I herniated a disc in my back, and I was on medical for 3.5 months. Fall of 2014. Utopia.
Boom.
Was something I watched. It had live components, and there were multiple episodes. I loved it. I was all invested because I didn't have anything better to do with my life, okay? Except for do physical therapy and watch Utopia.
Oh, God.
And Sopranos. I did do that while I was off on medical.
Now you have my attention.
I watched the entire run of Sopranos while I was off on medical.
I'm looking you right in the eyes right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ignore your husband right there.
All right.
Let's me and you do a podcast
about the only episodes there are of Utopia.
Let's do it.
I would do it.
I
would totally do it. I love Utopia.
Is it available still?
That's your part. You got to find
you
it.
find it for us.
I don't want.
You're not doing the
this.
podcast, but you gotta find it.
I don't want you on.
Did you like The Sopranos over here?
Oh, I loved it. I loved every minute of it, and it did. That filled my time off on medical. Like, after I was out of the narcotic coma, because, when you have the first, I had surgery. It was a long thing.
You were addicted to drugs.
It was a long thing. No, I wasn't addicted to drugs.
What about
and your husband Brian scooped you up and saved you from your addiction, and now you're forever grateful to him.
Right.
What about the series finale of The Sopranos over here? Did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was fine. It was great.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was great. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't I didn't think it was bad. Like, people were all mad about it.
No, it was great.
And I thought it was fabulous.
It's fantastic.
Hey, do you know how stupid my dumb kid is?
Probably pretty fucking stupid if I had to guess. Which one?
Eli.
Okay.
So I just got a notification on Instagram. Instagram. And the screen name is EJS, Eliza James Searing, 12/22/019. Eli, if you're going to start an Instagram page when you're not supposed to be on social media, the first person to ask to follow it, don't follow me. He's busted.
What the fuck is going on? Out with it.
His mom. No, he's
not supposed to have an Instagram, but he opened an Instagram, and Blake asked to be his friend.
No.
He said yes. Is that what we're doing?
He
asked you to be his friend.
Yeah, so I just
his mom said no Instagram, and then he friends Blake on the Instagram.
What a dumb kid.
That is not very bright.
I hate him.
It's not very bright.
He's our old baggage boy. I hate him.
I love the kid.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't.
Is that why you lose your baggage on your flight sometimes? Listen.
Not anymore.
You need to
We
get
got
another
Lucas
baggage
now.
boy.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Lucas?
My name is Lucas. I never lose baggage.
Suzanne,
I live on the back of the plane.
Suzanne Vega's story about a child being beaten. Very good.
God, I love it. It's a good song.
Great song. I'm going to set the clock now for 10 minutes.
Oh, shit.
And we're going to discuss.
Are you ready for this, Amanda?
Oh, go ahead and start us
I am
off,
out of
Blake.
beer, so I'm not ready for this.
Blake, go.
There's a woman writing a diary. She says she has a low sex life at 40 years old. And I didn't recognize... I recognized the person and the voice, but I didn't know who she was. And it was the wife of Frasier. There's a weird camera work right off the bat. There's sideways camera. There's a lot of cuts back and forth. I quickly started to hate this. Amanda?
You quickly started to hate this. Well, she decides to keep a diary because of it has been a bizarre and magical life as of late.
Who says their life is magical?
She said there's a
She has marriage
there's a
problems.
sexy time scene with her laughing, and she said she's too old to be having bad sex. She's 40.
Yeah, that was the first thing she wrote in her diary is, "Hey, dear diary, I just started you. Had a bad sex tonight."
Right?
Yeah.
She talks about a squabble between her and her husband, and kind of how they go back and forth at kind of
Stupid stuff.
why am I thinking the word too many beers,
S&M.
not enough words.
S&M. That's fine.
Passive aggressive. That's what I want. Passive
B.
aggressive.
Passive.
Passive.
B. Passive. Aggressive.
Anyways, she goes back and forth with her husband, blah, blah, blah. She goes out finally. She goes to work.
Okay,
we
stop
going
here.
to work?
I apologize. Yeah, she's going to work.
All right.
Does she have a goth look?
No. She's just got dark hair. What the fuck? She's
Looks
got,
very gothy to
she
me.
just has black hair. Like
She
that's
looks
her
too
natural.
goth.
She's a pale woman with dark
Hair. Exactly.
This
Exactly.
this
Pale
pilot,
girl, dark hair, pale girl, dark hair, goth.
He's trying to waste our time explaining this.
He's doing a great job.
I know, this delightful little pilot. I enjoyed it.
And the reason you're wasting so much of our time is because this pilot moves 1 mile per 1 minute. It is
fast.
It's lightning
Oh,
fast.
it is so fast. I love it.
Oh, you love it?
Yeah, I love it. Like, I feel like I watched a whole hour show in like 24 minutes.
No joke. We
Legit.
probably did. Yeah. We really did.
She talks at that rate.
It's kind
Things
of like
happen at that rate.
It reminded me of the show Family Guy, oddly enough, because if you watch Family Guy, it's a cartoon, right? And they say, "Hey, this thing," and then they'll do like a flashback.
Sure.
And they'll cut to like something like stupid in pop culture, an easy joke, a Jay
Right.
Leno style monologue joke, and then they'll go back into the program. That's what this show is.
Oh, yeah.
It is. Here is the linear story of the episode, but there's a million little tangents of things I'm thinking about or backstories, and they'll do flashbacks, and they'll pop in and out of the story. And some of the things that they flash back to aren't even things that really happened. Things that they were
she's
just thinking about.
Yeah, she just thinks her.
But we see all of it.
Yeah, she in her mind. Yeah, exactly.
In
We
her
see
mind.
all of it. Yeah, we see
My
all
next
of her
note
stories.
is this lady just complains. Hashtag she goes to work, has an issue with Madonna's boobs. Her boss does. She gets fired.
Mm-hmm.
And by right now, this is maybe 3 minutes in, 4 minutes in.
Yeah, right.
The
A lot
narration is fucking annoying.
The what
Maybe
is?
that's what
The
it is.
narration
Oh,
is annoying.
the whole thing is narrated.
Yeah,
and
right.
the whole thing's fucking annoying.
Well, her getting fired from her job based off of some comments she made to her boss really is the catalyst for the rest of the program.
Yeah.
So
Did
she
you
goes
see
off.
that coming? I mean, I thought it was.
No,
didn't
I
see
had
it
no
coming.
idea what to expect.
Right? Me neither.
But she gets fired, and then her being, I think it was in New York City, right?
Yes, yeah.
She kind of goes off on this adventure of this day.
She couldn't go tell her husband because he wouldn't understand.
And that's a whole flashback. She had
Yeah,
different scenarios she played out in her head of what would
her
look like
husband would happen. Yes.
Absolutely. It's so bizarre. Anyway, she gets fired, and then she's like, you know what? I'll go off on the street, and she goes and takes like golf lessons.
Right. She
That
goes to
was
one of
so-
those
it
like
was so
indoor
bizarre.
golf places.
There was so much. Take golf lessons during your lunch break in Manhattan.
yeah.
This
This is totally a legit thing in Manhattan, I'm sure.
I bet it is.
100%. Back in the 90s, I bet it was totally a thing.
She goes there. She's taking the class.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't do very well. She finally connects, and everyone applauds. But it's probably because of the buttons of her shirt popped off and her breasticles are hanging out. And anyway, so a big fat guy there named Fritz. He's like,
Fritz.
hey, you know what? I'll take you out for a cup of coffee. And she just goes out with this random guy.
This
Just goes with this random guy,
This
right?
is completely unnecessary.
But then,
It's so weird.
But then we get this guy's entire backstory
Yes.
acted
It's
out, right?
unnecessary. It
He
has
was a
no
cop.
relevance.
He's a security guard at Barney's.
We see him in bed with his wife talking.
Yes, uh-huh.
And she is
Because
prettier
she's a
than him.
forensic person, and so it's him and her having a conversation
Yeah.
about a case, like because
And
he was a cop and now he got injured and
He's a
And he
security
plays
guy.
golf at-
security
at
guard.
lunch.
Yeah.
Very bizarre.
Right?
All these different tangents. And then anyway, Fritz, he's a security guy now for Barney's department store. He takes her over there, and they go.
I
she
didn't
goes shopping.
think he was. I thought
He took her to Barney's because he knew that the tailor at Barney's could fix her shirt for her. So he took her to Barney's for that. And then they were trying to kill time while they were waiting for her shirt to get fixed. And she was shopping around in the expensive section when Fritz noticed this girl. He says, watch her.
He's a security guard. He's got an eye for this kind of thing.
Right.
He picks her out, and it just so happens that Annie, our protagonist, recognizes the redhead as Christy, someone she knew from college.
Right.
Sure. I mean, how many times do you run in from somebody from college at
In a
a
city
store?
of 5 million people?
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Anyway, the woman stole a black dress, and Fritz is like, "All right, I'm gonna nab this broad."
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, you know what? That was one of my college." And then she's thinking about it like a road trip they had.
Right.
Like, all these little tangents.
Right. Yes.
I bet.
So this lady fucking steals a dress,
Yeah.
Right.
and they start following her. And,
Well-
and Fritz is like, "Oh, watch this!"
Way out the door.
Right at the end, she's like, "Fritzy, my new golf partner. Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it." I was like,
Yeah.
What? I don't.
She was thinking about her going to jail and how terrible that would all be, and she just is like, "Let me help this girl out." And
It's
just
an
pay
odd
for this.
thing,
Yeah,
but like
it's weird.
she
yeah.
had just been fired, so she's probably
Yeah.
kind of in this kind of haze
Weird,
of like,
yeah.
what am I doing? But anyway, she's like, you know what? I'm going to track this lady down. So that they both went to Brown University. She gets a hold of the alumni directory, finds out where she's living, and then she goes there, and the doorman of that building like lets her in because like I guess the apartment is kind of maybe for rent.
Yeah.
And she's like,
And
I
what
know.
was the weird thing about the agent is in? The agent is in. Like there was all that weird stuff. That agent stuff was
I didn't
weird
hear
talk.
that.
Yeah,
I think Christy had it up for sale.
yeah.
And her husband didn't. And
Eric. Yeah. Chrissy recognizes her and she's like excited to see her.
Right.
And she's like, I'm divorced. I don't have any kids. And Annie's like, she's piling on the information. I am typing a mile a minute trying to keep track of everything that's going on and everything that's being said. I feel like I'm getting it from two different sides here. Anyway, Eric arrives, and that's Christy's husband. He says, hey, you know what? The apartment's not for rent. And Christy, for God's sake, would you please take your pills?
Yeah.
So something's going on with this lady.
And
So
also
you realize she's a little
during this
crazy.
part, there's a Seinfeld plug.
They do, yeah. He's like, I haven't watched TV in 5 years. I hear that Seinfeld show is good. Is that still on? Anyway, they're like, Eric's like, you know what? The magazine, Annie, that you work for, Q&A, I am a guy who performs surgery on the editor-in-chief's wife.
Which is the guy that fired her, and his wife is in the hospital with some kind of deathly...
And it's because of this show is why HIPAA was enacted.
Probably so.
Like, legitimately, I started working at a pharmacy in 1998. So,
that guy's just giving out all sorts of
That guy is just
information.
giving out this whole lady's like telling she's got breast cancer and all
So
this.
Annie got her gun. She goes to the florist and talks to the gay guy because every gay guy works
And
at a
it's so
florist.
weird. She imagines
Yes.
the gay guy at home in his
Getting
home life.
flowers. Yes, getting flowers from
You guys
his significant other or bringing flowers to his significant
you guys
other.
never did that?
I don't know.
I've never been a gay guy that did that.
No,
I
a straight guy
strongly suspect that they took this pilot and the editing that they did was all these little tangents. They said a little bit was done, but
Yeah.
I imagine that it was all these different little things that they added with the editing.
Yeah.
And it's such a bizarre thing to think that they would do that in an attempt to win an Oscar. They went so far to put this in the theater.
Right.
That's such a bizarre thing to me.
It's so bizarre. So am I mistaken that the fact that she has breast cancer because her and her
That's why
they start talking about breasts.
Her boss, boss and her had the kind of disagreement about having the breasts on the thing, and,
She
then
gets
all of
her-
a sudden she realizes, oh, that's why he was so upset.
Right.
So he's
She
going
gets
to
her
take
job back.
flowers. Yeah, he's going to take. She takes flowers to the hospital. The wife. They end up having a chat, and then he says, "I'm so sorry, I overreacted." She realizes that it's because his wife is going through
And
this
then they
stuff.
had sex.
Yes, and then she goes back home though, and she had realized when she was at the florist that she forgot her wallet at that Christy girl's apartment, and so when she gets home, the doorman has a bag for her with her wallet in it. She thinks she takes it up to her room, and she opens the bag and takes the wallet out. There's a black dress.
Nice. You know what? I didn't want to.
I get it.
I was like, she's on fucking fire.
I'm on fire.
I'm not fucking dealing with that. She's
Don't
on
do it.
fire.
I just let her go.
Right?
Yeah, no, it was
Get
great.
it.
You know what? To be honest with you, I have never been so excited watching a guest describe anything about
She
her
beat the
show.
shit out of that summer.
She killed it. High five that
Listen,
shit.
High five that shit. Amanda is the note taker and the summary girl
Extraordinaire.
for the challenge
Yeah.
Hey.
podcast.
And a sexy bitch.
So, yep.
got going on?
Is that the first time you called one of our guests a bitch?
I said sexy bitch. I was trying to be like cool about it, like the kids say.
I want to say the part where
It was a compliment.
I got you.
The
You're
ga-
fine.
The
He's such
gay
a fucking
florist.
asshole.
Yes.
Yeah. The gay florist. She says something to the effect of like, "I wonder if they're healthy." Did you catch that?
Yeah, the AIDS thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it was
Yes.
a nod to the AIDS virus like the epidemic happening at the time.
And that's why it
Right.
won a Grammy.
That was like a real odd thing. Did you?
It was
you
very
caught? You
odd,
obviously
yes.
you caught that too.
No, I saw it too. It was
Yeah.
very awkward.
bizarre. Anyway,
Uncomfortable.
I'd like to say this show didn't work, and as a series, obviously it didn't. It one and done. That's the name of the game here.
Right.
But it won a fucking Oscar. That's bizarre, right?
I want to punch somebody.
Amanda, why did this work as a
okay.
TV series?
I feel like this is the 40-year-old with kids version of Sex and the City.
Okay.
Sex and the City came out in 1998. The first episode debuted on June 6, 1998.
It's HBO.
And that's an HBO show. Sex, which is in this episode, is a big part of that series, but it is very much driven through inner monologues from
Sarah,
Carrie. Yeah.
SJP.
Yeah, SJP does these internal dialogues and stuff like that. There's not as much like split cut but I feel like they do some of that kind of like flashback or flash to non-reality kind of scenarios and stuff like that. I felt like it was Sex and the City before Sex and the City, and they just saw this, tailored it to, listen, let's do single women in New York City and their sexcapades versus
Opens the door a little bit.
Yes, opens the door a little bit. But it felt like that when you watch it and you hear that it sounds just like it.
1996, Sex and the City,
quickly
1998.
Yes.
Kind of racy.
Right, a little racy,
This
a
was
little scandalous.
probably on a network versus having, again, the door open
Right.
on HBO. You can do a little bit more racy things
Yeah.
there. I didn't make that
Yeah.
connection while I was watching it, but that makes a lot of sense. Captain?
This was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Right,
that?
because you're a guy.
It was this. I've
Because
never
you're a
watched
guy.
Sex in the City, so I didn't like Fraser Crane's wife. She was a cunt bag.
Oh, good lord. A cunt bag.
I did not like the cinematography. I did not like the constant narration. To me, like it was overly narrated. Like there wasn't much dialogue between people because it was just her talking over it, and half the time the camera was sideways.
I think
And
there's a ton of Sex and the City that is like that, though.
Well, I've never seen it,
Big
but-
portions of that
okay,
show
all right. Hey,
are dialogued. Yeah, over.
you know what? I don't like.
I'm just
when-
telling
I
you.
don't like when women talk.
Yeah, well, that's why you had me on, huh?
well, what would you do to improve it, Blake?
Right?
I would blow the fucker up. I wouldn't even have done it.
You would use dynamite.
So to me, it was like this goth lady has two kids that eat,
This god lady.
and I don't like the way her kids eat. It was disgusting,
Oh my god.
and it just like it didn't make sense.
They ate for all of 2 seconds of this thing because it's only 24 minutes long. Like
it was annoyed the whole time. There was too much narration. The cinematography was just annoying. I wanted to like I didn't want to hear her voice explain everything I was seeing.
Yeah.
Let me experience it as it
sure,
happens.
I understand.
'Cause-
But I understand. But I'm just saying that like
But I never
I
saw-
didn't watch Sex in the City like religiously or anything. I have seen several episodes on rerun. But I didn't watch it at the time that it was on, or anything like that. But I know a lot of girls who did, and who are like diehards on it.
Fuck those
And
girls, right?
I mean, it's okay.
I maybe I'm out of place. I'm out of my element on this. Maybe
I think so.
And-
I think
okay.
it's
Maybe
Alright.
you aren't the demo.
you aren't. You are not, sir. You are not the demographic for this.
If this
I
survived,
I legitimately
You know what?
think
That makes
it's-
sense.
Yeah.
I respect that.
it's a weird thing if this would survive because it oddly enough it reminds me of like an Adult Swim show, and I know that's an odd thing
Yeah.
to say,
No.
but for Adult Swim, you're getting these 12-minute episodes, and you're just getting pummeled in the face for 12 minutes of just random, bizarre, absurdist shit. I don't think the show was absurdist, but god damn it, were we getting beat the fuck up for 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Non-stop barrage of shit happening.
legitimately
So
I have enough notes. I have longer notes for this than I have for an hour episode of the challenge.
I totally believe
that's how long it is.
There's a lot that happened.
I mean, there's a lot that happened in that tiny little show.
Can you keep up that pace for a 10, 13, 22 episode season? There's a lot of fucking shit happening here.
Do you remember A Diary of a Call Girl? It was on Cinemax, I think.
I remember the name. I've never saw it.
No, it was kind of like that, but it was smoother. It didn't seem so like it was the same concept. You're following this prostitute in England.
I don't think we were following a prostitute, but it was her dialogue over the top of it. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
You're following a woman's story. Whatever.
Just one random woman. Doesn't matter if she's a 40-year-old mom or a prostitute. All right.
It's all the same in the captain's
It's all
eyes.
the same in his eyes. Okay.
I'm just saying, the narration was there, but you got a lot of the acting and the dialogue, and it wasn't so much just the narrator pummeling everything on you. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of stuff.
But since I
Every
was
90
made fun
seconds.
of by my guest, screw me, right? I love you.
I'm never coming on again.
No, I love you. You're on every episode.
That's it. You're replacing me. Thank God. It's like The Ring, right? Now you watch the video cassette. You're in. IMDb score.
Amanda, you don't want none of this.
Oh, you're right.
1 out of 10. Amanda, a 10-point scale. What do you think people from around the world had to say about Dear Diary?
What do people or myself?
People. This
Okay,
is
I'm
an
not,
average score
this
from
is an
people who
average
rate.
score
Yeah,
from
yeah.
people.
Sane people.
Let's give it a 7.5.
Okay, Captain.
6.2.
6.4. And that's from 57 different ratings.
Okay.
Critic reviews. Andrew Wycliffe from thestopbutton.com says, it's impossible to imagine it as a weekly show just because Diary does so little to establish what would be its regular cast. Given Frankel's direction and the general production concepts, the stock video footage is a disaster. Why not just shoot the whole thing on video? Dear Diary should be a lot less successful. As for the writing by Frankel, it's fine, but it's a sitcom, an okay sitcom. So you've got an okay sitcom script, directed goofy or worse, and a great lead performance. Bebe Neuwirth makes Diary happen. However, last thing, the diary she's writing seems to be very thin. Is it a new diary? Doesn't matter, I guess, but it does matter. Frankel's way too loose on the detail. So a very lukewarm, con here, pro there.
What's the average page number for a daily diary journal entry? I'm thinking like a 1 page.
Yeah.
This was very detailed.
Right.
I understand it's TV,
There's
but
a lot going on in
but
her day, though.
she fucks her husband good, and then she gets up out of bed, and then she writes the whole day's experience.
Entry, yeah.
I'm sorry, I mean, I don't know about you, I don't know about your husband, but I have good sex, I go sleepy. I don't sleepy.
Wow.
I do not get up and write down a journal for 17 pages.
Oh, listen to this. Viewer reviews, very jazzy, by Subcity2 from January 3rd, 2003. I was able to see a screening of this film at an Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Scientists screening of short film winners and nominees a while back. This started out as a pilot for a DreamWorks comedy series, so when the network rejected it, it made the rounds and eventually won an Oscar for Best Short Film. Bebe Neuwirth stars as a New Yorker, and the film was basically a day in the life of her character. It was filmed on location, and it seemed like a cross between Seinfeld and Days and Nights of Molly Dodd. I'm not sure what that is. There is a lot of voiceover, jazz score, and the plot is about little things that happen to Neuwirth's character and how she dealt with them. It seemed to bounce from one mood to another very quickly. Overall, I thought it was smart and funny. It says something about the state of network television when something that is deemed not good enough to broadcast goes on to win an Oscar. 9 out of 10 scars. ABC blew it when they didn't pick up Dear Diary. Imagine a light-up including Sports Night, Dear Diary, and NYPD Blue. Bebe Neuwirth is great as the lead and narrator of this sitcom pilot by DreamWorks that ABC failed to recognize and place on their fall schedule. Great script. Brian Kerwin in a supporting role as her husband and filmed on the beautiful streets of New York City.
New York City.
Get a rope. In the last viewer review here, 9 out of 10 scars. One Day in New York, and this is from June 4th, just a couple of years ago, 2017. DreamWorks' first production to win an Academy Award focuses on a woman's trials and tribulations as she negotiates her way around New York City over the course of a day. Watching Dear Diary, one gets the feeling that it got intended as a TV pilot, and it was, but got rejected. Along with the action, the short features narration, and the protagonist writes down the day's events before going to bed, I guess that we could interpret it as a contemplation on what one can do when things don't go as expected. The star is Baby Newirth, who you may remember as the clueless aunt in Jumanji. I understand that her best-known role is in Cheers, but I've never seen that show. Some child. To my knowledge, this is Newirth's only lead role in a movie. Her character here is an affluent, streetwise person who picks up on everything and that has something to say about everything.
How is she streetwise?
I don't know.
Because she went golfing at lunchtime?
Probably so. Directed David Frankel is best known for The Devil Wears Prada. All in all, it's a good short. It deserved its Oscar for Best Short Film.
Oh, my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11, and your temperature is...
You want to go toe-to-toe and burp for burp with me?
I'm about to throw up.
Good Lord. How many beers, Jeff? Did you drink that IPA?
7-Eleven.
I'm not sure what that means. I asked you how many beers you had, and if you had that one, and you responded by saying the name of a convenience store. I don't...
4.
We're talking golf again? Come on, man.
4!
Oh, boy. Now we grade the show from the television program from the 90s, affectionately and accurately known as Wings, on a 1 to 7 scale based on the characters from the very same program. 1 is the worst score you can get, and that's a Roy Biggins. And 7 is the best score you can get, and that's a Brian Hackett. Amanda, I turn to you. How do you rate Dear Diarrhea?
Dear Diarrhea
Good job.
gets a solid 6 from me.
A 6?
6. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm taking it to the top.
That was aggressive.
Being aggressive, right?
Listen, right?
That's, you know what? That's why I like you. You don't mind being aggressive. I like that.
6? You're in and out? Do you want to say anything about it, or that's it? You're throwing
6.
it down?
I liked it. I mean, I liked the one episode. You know what I mean? Like, if I had to say, like, a 6 means I would want to see a whole series, I don't know about that.
Compared to Utopia.
But a 6 for the... Right? Utopia is a solid 7.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Solid 7.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Solid.
Amanda,
you
can come on
you don't
every
waver.
week.
You don't waver on the Utopia.
Don't fuck with my Utopia, bitches.
But I'll give Dear Diary a 6 because I legitimately think that this pilot paved the way for Sex and the City, and that show was and still is incredibly popular.
You drew parallels that I did not see there, and not being someone who's watched a lot of Sex and the City, I totally get it.
Yeah, right.
I think you're right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, shows like this pilot probably did inspire or influence Sex and the City completely. So I think that's a great observation. Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you. How do you rate Dear Diary? It's not going to be good, Amanda. He does not.
I know, right? It's okay.
Uh-oh. It's Molly, probably. She probably watched it. He's going to ask her about Sex and the City.
He's going to ask her if she thinks...
Ask her if she wants to have sex. Right?
She's not answering you.
I can answer that for you, buddy.
If your wife doesn't answer after 2 rings,
She's probably up there crying happy tears.
She's like, thank goodness he's down there podcasting.
Your call has...
You can't send a voicemail.
Okay. All right.
Is that Molly? Oh my god.
Yes, it was.
All right.
What was my rating?
Yeah.
Let me tell you a couple things that were wrong with this.
All right, please do.
First of all, everything about this was wrong. For a 24-minute pilot, it seemed like 45 minutes. I'm giving it an Oscar D bump, and I'm giving it a 0.
No.
I'm giving it a 0. This was horrible.
No,
it was horrible.
No, I don't accept that.
Cinematography
That's bullshit.
The cinematography gave me I'll give you a reason. The cinematography it gave me a headache. The narration interrupted the whole flow of the show. It was constant.
Listen, that's how bitches' minds work, okay?
Zero?
It's constant narration. There is constant dialogue.
I gave it a
going.
1. I gave it a 1, and then I gave it an Oscar D bump.
I so rarely give you shit about your rating, but a 0 for this?
Okay, 1. I'll give it a fucking 1. I'll jerk you off and give you a 1.
I feel like you should have given this easily a 2,
No,
sir.
no.
You are out of control.
It was.
A 0.
If you had a vagina, you would give it a 7. If you had a penis, you would give it a 0.
See, listen, my boy Jason's going to disagree with you.
A 0 is reserved.
Gay.
Yes.
First of all, I'm a gay guy.
Right.
All right.
I'm not.
Second of all, 0 is reserved for the worst of the. It's sub.
The tribe. Cube.
You're telling me it's worse than the tribe.
And it was.
It's worse than the tribe, but it won an Oscar. I mean, come on.
The Cube.
It's on par with the Cube.
Yes.
The Crystal Cube.
Was horrible.
No way. Okay. If you want to give it a 0, that's fine. I cannot believe that is true, but I'll
I hated every minute of this. It was awful. I didn't like her voice. I didn't like how she was a goth mom. I didn't like how her kids ate like they were bandits. There's no way that woman would ever be married to that guy. And also, all of a sudden, she goes at lunchtime and gets fired from her job and goes and learns golf in 3 minutes. And then talk about his wife.
She only hit 1 ball in 3 minutes.
Thank you. You know what? Every woman I know hits 2 balls. I hated this. And when my wife said this won an Oscar, I thought I actually got in trouble because I was like, "You're dumb. You're looking at the wrong thing on IMDb." There was no way this would ever happen.
You got in trouble for calling your wife dumb? That's weird.
No, I said this show is dumb. It was. Amanda, I love you. I will always love you.
That's fine.
I think you're a beautiful woman. I love everything about you, but this is fucking stupid.
What, did you say you give it a 6?
6, yeah.
6. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna lean more towards Amanda, unless I think I'm fucked up. I've seen 180 television shows that only had 1 episode. I think it's starting to warp me, like putting your head in a microwave or something. I'm gonna give it a 4, and I tell you why. I feel like I'm really riding the middle lately, and nothing's really catching my attention one way or the other. There's some good acting here. I think there's a good premise, but it cannot maintain this fever pitch.
No,
it is too
that's
much.
What I mean,
too
if I was
often.
rating on 1 episode versus it being a series,
Yeah.
I would lower my rating of it being a series.
Dial it down.
But the 1 episode, the one little one and done, it was a good little episode.
There's a lot of things that happen that were just odd and super.
Can I do an imitation real quick?
Yeah.
It was a good episode.
It was a good little episode.
If we named our shows, our episodes,
this one would be a good little episode.
A good little episode.
Damn right.
But instead, we're going to name it Dear Diary.
I give it a 4. I can't see it keeping that pace going forward. I think there are some redeeming qualities here, but it's not the best thing I've ever seen by far. Bebe Neuwirth, I think, is a good actress. She does a great job.
Yeah.
I feel like I was just beat about the forehead for 20 minutes with information that I
24 minutes.
Yeah.
that I couldn't necessarily keep up with.
I agree with the one review that said, who are going to be the main characters? How are we going to follow? You know what I mean? I 100% agree on that. Whether Fritz is going to be a main character.
She's going to have an affair with Fritz. It's going to happen.
It is odd to say, I just met this guy at a golf thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out with to coffee with him, and then I'm going to go to his job with him.
Right.
It is an odd thing, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that didn't make sense, and it almost felt like it was shoehorned in to keep this fever pitch pace.
Did your husband watch this show?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
And with that, let's see. We give it a 6, and we give it a 4, and we give it. You stick with a 0?
I'll give it a 1.
Give it a 1. Okay.
Just because I'm a nice fucking guy.
You're a great guy. And with those scores, we close the book on Dear Diary, and we will never speak of it again.
Yeah.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Meet the O'Briens. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. The comedic trials and tribulations of Dave O'Brien and his wife as they live with his in-laws. You can find the entire episode of Meet the O'Briens by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links. Or
his mother was a fucking teacher, and he still can't do English.
Go to YouTube, Amanda.
YouTube.
Thank you. You can also go to couchpilotspodcast.com. You can send us an email there. Get a hold of us through our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fucking bullshit. Whatever. And then all of our episodes are there too.
Couchpilotspodcast.com is where you can hear every fucking episode. Fuck iTunes.
It's a great hub.
Yeah, it's the hub of all hubs. You can also call us. The dial-in number is 910-PILOTS-1, which is...
Is that
910-PILOTS-1, which is...
Oh, I'm sorry. 910-745-6871. If you want to hear what your stupid fucking voice sounds like, leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it back, and you'll get to hear it.
Yeah, and that's the reason why people don't call you Mars, because you say...
I promise you that your voice sounds stupid. I promise.
My
Yeah,
voice?
no one likes their voice.
No,
no one likes
anyone
their
who calls in
voice.
and leaves a message. I promise you're not going to be happy with how your voice sounds. And Blake
None
and
of
I
us
are going to
do.
think it sounds stupid, just like we think our voices sound dumb recorded.
But you're putting a negative spin. Like,
Then why do you set me up to say it every time? You could take that from me, and you could do it better.
But I have to learn the number.
And that's what's stopping you. So be it. You can also go to Patreon. You set that up, right?
Yeah, I did. Patreon.com/couchpilots. Donate if you can. If you can't, that's fine.
Hey, guess what? We love money. Right?
Muchos gracias.
Hell yeah. Amanda, you came on the show again.
I did.
What do you think?
fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time, you guys.
I'm sorry about Jason.
Yeah, I'm sorry about me.
Right?
Thank you.
Sorry about you. Yeah, I had a great time. Love this little pilot. When Jason initially told me, or you guys initially told me the premise for your podcast, I'm obsessed with it. I love the idea. So
You are the only one.
I love being back, and I love watching a one episode pilot.
Thanks for your 4 downloads a month. We appreciate it. Love you.
We have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah,
We have a small fan base. We'll take it. We'll take what we can get.
take it.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh, good one.
Oh yeah. Well, I am a co-host of the podcast Challenged, a podcast all about MTV's The Challenge. For those of you listeners out there that like reality television, come on by. It's a reality competition show on MTV. And we do an episode each week that recaps the season. It is... this is going to be after.
This is June 3rd.
Yeah, yeah. So this is going to be after our season of the show ends for the season, but we've got some mid or interim content that we're going to be releasing. We're going to be watching an old season of The Challenge.
Heard about it.
We're going to be watching an old season of The Challenge and doing recaps on that. So Battle of the Sexes if you are a Challenge fan. So you can find us at challengepod.com and all the links to our Facebook page, which is the best place on the internet to talk about MTV's The Challenge, and Twitter accounts, Instagrams, all that kind of biz.
Now, that's on MTV. You said.
Yes.
Does that still stand for music television?
Sure.
Okay.
Technically.
Blake, when we were doing IBWIP those years ago, and we'd have Jacob on the program, he would always laugh, right?
yeah.
And that was my favorite part. Amanda's got such a great laugh. If you want to hear that, definitely check out the Challenge podcast. It's a great program. Amanda's a huge part of it.
I didn't mean to interrupt your plug.
Hello.
Hello, my wife. How are you?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing lovely. I can't wait till this is over so I can go and lay in bed with you.
Okay.
We have Amanda here. You know Amanda.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just run you down for the past 2 hours. I think she's setting up a sex toy party for June 1st, and she's going to use you as a reference with Brittany because we called her again.
Called her.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Awesome.
She's a great party hostess, but could you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We
were very nice.
We were very nice. Don't worry about it. You watched Dear Diary with me, and I appreciate you suffering through it with me because you're probably going to get a very low score. From a scale of 1 to 7, 1 being the worst.
Did you ask her if it's? If
I
it
don't
was
ask Amanda. I don't ask her. I tell her. 1 being the worst. 7 being the best. What do you rate Dear Diary?
Probably a 4.
Okay. What?
I didn't mind it. I don't know why you thought I would not like it. I would have probably watched more episodes, but then on the other hand, I can see how it would have gotten old pretty quick. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 20 minutes, half an hour it was or whatever.
I want to apologize to you because when I told you to look it up on IMDb and you said it won an Oscar, I told you were looking at the wrong fucking thing.
Okay, yeah.
I found out interesting facts. This won an Oscar, so I apologize. I thought you were wrong.
Oh, well, that's nothing new in our lives, so... You think I'm wrong about everything, so we're good.
We're good.
We're good. We have been married for 5 years and 2 weeks.
God bless Molly's soul.
On a scale of 1 to 7, how has those 5 years and 2 weeks been?
She's gonna give it a 4. She's gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, I'll take a 4. To be honest with you, I'll take a 4.
That's a win.
Oh, it kind of depends on the day, you ask. You hit me on a good day.
Let's do an
so
average. Let's do an average.
Average. Well, I'd say a 6.
Well, I'll take it.
That's good.
Hey, that's a good
really
average.
good.
That's above 50%.
Above divorce. That's above divorce. All right, we love you.
Love you too.
But I love you again.
I love you too again.
Jason.
I love you, Molly.
I love you too.
Yes.
Amanda.
Hey, love you, Molly.
All right, goodbye. Goodbye. God, she's a brilliant woman.
There you go. What a
Very
lucky man.
tolerable.
Very tolerable.
I'm sure if you covered her with poison ivy, she'd be fine.
Right?
What an odd thing to say. Captain Philip, rest assured, do you have a message of positivity? Or was that it? That was pretty positive.
It was positive, but I got more.
Oh, please.
The last 2 weeks, starting season 19, we have had 2 wonderful guests with no inhibitions, fun people. Ironically, they were females.
You said fuck to my mom.
I've had a great time with the last 2 episodes. I hate guests. I do not like them.
Why
here.
is that?
Huh?
Why?
It's just more people to talk about how fucked up I am and stupid.
You really liked Lucas, didn't you?
Oh, me and Lucas were like, no, but Amanda, I had a great time with you. I would hang out with you. We need to do a Utopia podcast.
You'd have a podcast.
Nobody has that passion except me and you.
I don't. I sure as hell don't.
No.
Would you listen to it?
Absolutely not.
Yes, you would. You'd listen. If you listen to a podcast that I know you listen to, you'd listen to this one.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure. You're looking at me real weird, like you have a secret or something. I don't know.
Right?
Oh, okay. I'll listen to it. I don't know.
No, but my message of positivity is be around friends, have fun, and don't sweat the small stuff.
Okay. That's fair.
Love it.
Oh, and with that, this pilot may have been
schedule
rough.
a sex toy party.
Yeah.
And use my wife's name as your reference so we can get some shit.
Get some free shit.
Get that gallon of lube.
Who needs lube?
I thought you were going to follow that up with something.
Like,
who needs lube when you have that? But you just...
I think Brian looked at me and I got...
You got nervous. You're like, I don't know what to say.
No, I knew it.
On